Yes, sir. Ambassador Plays back in the building. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Not just well, but swell. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Look, y'all, today I'm gonna just be talking to y'all. It's a little rant about the current state of Sparking Zero, man. And I just want to say, off the rip, I'm not even gonna waste none of y'all's time on my honest opinion right now. And this is coming from an avid, super huge, mega Dragon Ball Z fan. The game is trash. The game is trash. Ambassador Plays, AP. Why would you say the game is trash as a huge Dragon Ball fan? That's why. Because I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. First of all, I don't understand how you can be the fourth continuation in the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series and remove some of the greatest features that you had in the previous games over 13, 14 years ago. Okay? I just don't understand how that's the case. In this game, we have less maps than we should. We have far less outfits than we should. And the thing that really blows me about that is that when you customize a character, there are so many different slots for these items and outfits and stuff like that. Yet some of the main characters in the game only have a handful of outfits. We're missing iconic outfits like the pink shirt Vegeta outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Gohan Bojack Unbound outfit. We're missing the jumpsuits from Dragon Ball Super. We're missing Gohan's outfit from when he got his potential unleashed. Like, there's so many outfits and item customizations that we're missing. It's not even funny. You know what I mean? But that's just really the surface level stuff. The reason why I say the game is trash, the reason why I will stand on and die on the hill of saying that the game is not good. I'm sorry, this is completely random. I just looked up, I got an outlet dang near on my ceiling. That's random. I never seen that before. But the reason I'm saying that is mainly because of gameplay issues. There are in this game, first of all, the developers of this game are just drop dead lazy. I don't think that they thoroughly test their product. I don't think that they thoroughly test their product or play their product before actually releasing it to the public. I think that they just do the minimum necessary so that some people will still keep playing their game. And I think that their main priority was initial sales, building off of the hype of this game dropping, because it had been double-digit years since the last Budokai Tenkaichi. And once those sales were immaculate through the roof, they really felt as though they got everything that they needed, and now they have no motivation to actually make sure that the product is a good product for the people who are still loving Dragon Ball Z and the people who are still like having hope for this game. So I just wanted to get that out the way, and say that I think that's like the basis, the foundation of why the game is trash, because of that reason right there. I mean, the initial sales were amazing. They got their pockets absolutely lined. Okay, they got their pockets absolutely lined up. The game was breaking all kinds of records in terms of release date and how many people were playing, how many people purchased and pre-ordered the game. All right, even me myself, I pre-ordered like the $100-something edition of this game. And now look, we're in a state now where there's just no reason that the game should have these kind of game bugs and exploits. For instance, there's a move, a revenge counter. It's something that you do when getting hit in order to return the battle to neutral, and neutral just means nobody has the advantage. Both of you guys are starting from a standstill. There is an exploit in this game where when the person who uses the revenge counter, the other person, the person who is on the receiving end of the revenge counter, aka the person that gets hit by the revenge counter, they can do an exploit to where they can immediately begin attacking the person who has used the revenge counter before the person who has used the revenge counter can block, perception, or anything. That's not okay, because a feature that was implemented into the game in order to bring a fight back into neutral now is being exploited to where if you use it, you're dang near at a disadvantage. Not dang near, you're absolutely at a disadvantage if your opponent knows about the exploit and chooses to take advantage of it. And now you got all these sweats using this exploit because sweats will do anything in their power to win, swearing up and down that they're good, and they'll brag about being the best player in here and here and here and there. Whole time they're taking advantage of these exploits. That's something that's not supposed to be in the game. That's garbage, and you're wondering why people are putting down your product. You got combos dropping for certain characters more than other characters. For what reason, I don't know. I don't understand how you can have this issue in a fighting game. First of all, there's two issues that happen. One, you phase through your opponent's body while you're attacking and you end up being in front of them. Therefore, they have your back and now they can go absolutely ballistic with a combo. That one doesn't happen as much. Second one happens way more, and the second one is dropping your combo. And dropping your combo just means that you're mashing square to do your rush chain, which is a 5-hit combo, and for some reason, before it gets to 5 hits, the combo just drops. It's ridiculous. It sells you. It is absolutely a terrible thing, especially in a close game when both of y'all's health is pretty low and it's even. It's just terrible. Again, this glitch has been in the game for months. There's no reason, if the developers actually cared about the game, that they couldn't hop on here and fix it. You want to know what they would hop on here and fix? The brawly legendary Super Saiyan mode that nobody asked for and barely anybody cares about. They got on here and they hot fixed patches for that because Broly was apparently it was too easy to beat him. I don't even know what the problem was. All I know is on a mode that nobody really asked for to be fixed, they fixed something that we were never even really complaining about in the first place. So it shows you that they have the capability and the potential to go in and fix issues. It's just about what issues they choose to address. And the actual issues that matter and are taken away from the gameplay and are having people drop the game, they're not addressing those issues. That's a huge problem, bro. That is a huge problem. Right, so there's those few things right there. Another gameplay glitch or exploit or whatever you want to call it, it's a hard knockdown that just should not be in the game. This is where if you do, I don't know if it's only on sweeps, but I know that it works with sweeps 100% guaranteed. Oh boy, sorry, I had to yawn. If you are at the top of the map, you can be anywhere, but it's most effective at the top of the map. And you have a rolling hammer, you turn your opponent around, or you just get behind your opponent in any way, shape, or form. If you are behind your opponent, you hit them with a sweep, and then you hit them with a sweep again before they fully recover, your opponent will fall all the way down to the bottom of the stage, and there is, hear me when I say nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing they can do to recover early. Nope, they have to wait until they fall all the way down to the bottom of the stage and watch as their character helplessly falls down. And so in this time, whoever used and abused this exploit can either go sparking, they can get a transformation off, they can throw a super attack at you, they can do all kinds of things while you're just falling. This is something that should not be in the game. It's just ridiculous, it's foolish, it's stupid, and for any game where you have a competitive scene such as ranked, this is just an absolute game breaker. It's not it, man. It's not it. Has Bandai fixed this issue? No. Then let's talk about one of the biggest issues that plagues Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and that is, say it with me, ladies and gentlemen, connectivity. Yeah. There have been several times where I'm playing this game. Some of the times I'm streaming this game to other people who can witness it. Now, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not into bragging or anything like that, but I have a solid, more than solid, a rather good internet connection, and I'm wired, all right? Which means I take an Ethernet cable, I plug it into the back of my PS5, then I plug it into my router, or I plug it into my wall, because I'm in an apartment complex, and that makes my internet pretty darn good, all right? So there's no lag. I never experience any lag. So why is it that when I go onto this game and I put the connectivity settings to 5 only, which is the highest setting of connectivity on this game, I'm still matched up with people who have me delayed and or lagging sometimes? It just shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. I should not I should not be punished through my gameplay because you are choosing to play from a toaster. Okay, I shouldn't be the one being punished because you are choosing to play at McDonald's or Starbucks with your setup. I just shouldn't be punished for that. Yet in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, ladies and gentlemen, you absolutely 100% are. You are. okay? And then the game, and I don't want to hold mistakes of the past against the game, but they had rage quitters going rampant, raging, and just quitting back to back to back to back to back. And guess what? They could keep their points. And so now I don't even look at the leaderboard as legitimate, number one, because number one, people are using and abusing the most overpowered characters in rank to get to the top spots, and it took them a long time to patch the rage quit, so people would just rage quit or quit any game that they felt like they weren't going to win. And guess what? They got to keep all their points, and they only seen their points change when they win a game, because every time they're about to lose, they just rage quit. And so it's just things like this where, as a video game company, you should see certain things and you should hop on them immediately. Number one, because you take pride in the product that you've developed and you want it to be shown in the best light. That's number one. But number two, you actually want to care about the community that's buying your product and lining your pockets and making your dream and your vision come true. You should care about those people enough to, when they're complaining about an issue that's actually valid, like an exploit that knocks you down from the top of the map, like rage quitting, where I have to waste my precious time, I beat you, you're on your last bar of health, a few hits left, you quit, and you get to keep all your points. Meanwhile, I don't gain any points. All I did is gain wasted time. When you have revenge counters that are meant to put you in neutral, but somebody figure out a way to immediately attack you after using a revenge counter to where you're left helpless. When you have these exploits like this, you should want to fix them, because the people playing your game, the people supporting you, are suffering because of your negligence, because of your lackluster efforts to make sure that the game is up to par. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And you got these people just doing the minimal. Like I said, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had so many options in terms of customizability, the Patara earrings, the auras, all these different kinds of things, the maps, the character roster, the skins, the outfits. So why is it that a product that comes later has less? We have only gotten more capable, we have only gotten more intelligent, we have only gotten more advanced since the last Budokai Tenkaichi game. So how is it that we are left with less? Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one reason, and that's because of a lack of effort. That's all it is. We have all of these fantastic stages that we've seen in Dragon Ball Z Kai and Dragon Ball Super that are not on this game. One of the most iconic maps that's not on this game is the Kami House. Not the Kami House, I'm sorry, the Popo's joint. The Kami House would be another map that's fire. You know what I'm saying? But Popo's joint up in the sky, why is that not a playable map, bro? Why is that not a playable map? That is like, bro, that spot is so famous. Why is that not a playable map? I can tell you why. AP can tell you why. Because the game devs don't care. The developers could care less. They pockets already lined. And you want to know what? I bet they be in streams too, just laughing at content creators, you know, requesting these things, because they've already got their money. Truth is, I don't like it, but I understand and I acknowledge the truth. They don't have to do anything with this game. That's why we've been left with all these bugs and glitches for months at a time. And then they're gonna patch, like, they're gonna wait too long, most likely, to patch things that should have been patched a long time ago and make us feel like we're receiving a W. When whole time they actually release an unfinished product, I'm not saying it should be perfected, but an unpolished, very imperfect and very unfinished product, and then they patch little things and slowly make the game to how it should have been pre-release date. So they give us an unfinished product, they let us get used to that unfinished product, and then they actually start to implement things into their game that actually should have been in there before the product ever even came out, to make us feel as though somehow we're catching a small W or catching a small win. That, ladies and gentlemen, is unacceptable. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is quite ridiculous. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the current state of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. A game that had so much and still has so much potential, but unfortunately, this potential will not be unleashed like Gohan. This potential will lay dormant. All right, this potential will lay dormant unless the devs finally decide to wake up and actually give a flying fluff about this game. Unless that happens, ladies and gentlemen, we are stuck with this broken product called Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which, by the way, I'm still gonna play. but it's not always going to bring a smile to my face like it should be. And honestly, saying that is very disappointing. It's very disheartening. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think, what you agree with, what you disagree with, anything that I missed. God bless. Jesus loves you. So do I. I'll catch y'all in the next video, man.